and there was chirurg plastician. How do I say that in English, man?
Plastic surgeon. Bro,
Thank
why do I
you.
have to translate these words for you?
I don't know. I'm tired. Okay, you're tired too, but you still function somehow.
Fasting, bro.
Exactly.
So, what was the topic? What did you want to talk about again?
I wanted to talk about Ramadan.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Because it has started since Monday, I believe. And
Yes, it has. I know a lot of my friends have been undertaking that, and it's a very interesting period of time because it's similar in a sense to Christianity's Easter.
yes,
Honestly,
well,
not
Eastern
exactly the
Christianity, Easter.
Eastern Christianity, I suppose, to a certain extent. But in any case, point being is that it's similar, but also the way in which you undertake it is very different. So
Very
in
much
Christianity, the way that it's done is that you must not eat any animal products whatsoever within, Dennis, what period of time?
It changes every year. I have to always check the calendar.
Okay, just for the most part, give us something, you know,
So,
give us...
most of all, it coincides with Ramadan, because it is around Easter. And it's also
Yes.
during Christmas, and there are several festivities that it can go along with. There is, for example, Mary's something. Acoperirea Maicii Domnului. How do you translate that one?
Snap back to reality.
The covering of Saint Mary, I guess,
Thank
which
you.
is, again...
Thank you.
It's literally word for word, so take that as well.
Yeah, it's not really the best translation, but it's good enough. And there's other little thingies as well sparse throughout the year. And in theory, every Monday, if you can, Wednesday and Friday, you should be able to do that. But it's up
Right,
to
but
everyone, really. And
But I do also know Grandma was just doing it every single day throughout that period.
every single day throughout which period?
Like throughout the period that you were supposed to do it.
So like Easter and Christmas, pretty much. In
Yes.
theory, all throughout the year, you should be doing it every Wednesday and Friday as well. In theory.
Ah, I see, but I'm talking
But to each
specifically
to
for
own,
Easter.
like,
in this case.
listen. The point with post is everyone should do it as much as they can do it. That's the thing that priests say. It doesn't, strictly speaking, say anywhere within the Bible that you must do that. However, it is a sacrifice that Christian Orthodox people sometimes do.
And you know what? I do actually find it very neat because it's similar in Islam. Because one of the things that they say in the book is that if you're not able to fast, like say for example,
Yeah.
you've been injured or you have some sort of condition or anything akin to that, you should not
Yes.
do it. So you should literally not do it. And if you do it, it actually counts as a sin rather than
Yes. Yeah. And
as you actually like doing something good, which I think it's beautiful in its own sense.
Me
I
too.
definitely think it's beautiful.
I agree. I completely agree. The issue with Romanians, specifically from what I noticed, especially Bunicile, they don't really
yes.
listen to the latter part. They're more like, no, I'm not going to eat anything,
Yeah.
nothing animal. Especially man,
I know that
post
for a
negro. Who does post negro when they're 90? For God's sake, do you really want to go to God that quickly? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you want to literally, you want to speed run your way to heaven. That's what you want to do. Speed run your way to heaven, because brother, you need that nutrition. Wait, hold on. Isn't, because what he said translated is like black fasting, which...
Or rather black
No,
post, because
it's
post
not
is like black
racist.
Ramadan.
It's no, because remind me what it is. Is it literally just you're not allowed to eat or drink full stop?
So it's literally
How does it
like,
work?
so it is literally like Ramadan. You cannot eat or drink unless the sun is down. However,
Oh, so literally the same thing.
but with one more exception, when you can eat, you can only eat bread, and when you can drink, you can only drink water.
Oh, that's criminal.
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's criminal.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's criminal. That's so criminal.
It
Because
is.
at least, like with Ramadan, at the very least, once
You
know,
can
the
eat
sun
whatever
is
you want.
Yeah, you can feast on whatever beautiful thing you have. But the
Aside
problem
from
is that
obviously
this
what
one-
you cannot
Yeah, nah.
usually eat, like pig and such derivatives.
Yeah, well, you know.
But you can't
Potato,
really
potato,
eat it any
whatever.
time of the year, so it's whatever.
Yeah, anyways. No, one of the things that I always found interesting is just the similarities between the two religions and the two festivities.
Yes.
I've always found it fascinating. They're pretty much, they coincide in terms of they're around the same time, like around the same period of time.
Yeah.
And they pretty much behave in the same way. in the sense that they play out in the same way. I've always found that fascinating.
And if done properly, they're both healthy. I gotta say, man, they're both healthy.
Yes.
The first
say.
reason why I started losing weight was because I started doing post. That is why I started
Post,
to balance.
whenever Dennis says post, it just means fast.
Yes.
So
Well,
I feel like I have to like do the live translation.
not necessarily. It's not really fast. Like it's its own thing. It's like Ramadan, but different. You know, like
The Christian fasting.
Yeah,
'Cause it
the
doesn't have a
Christian
definition,
Ramadan.
The Christian fasting. Just call it Easter. Anyways, one of the, in my opinion, one of the best parts of Easter, Ramadan, etc., is that people come together to do this, and I think that's
yes.
like, for
Yes.
example, whenever the time to eat is for Muslims, I think it's called iftar. They gather around. They've made these like gigantic meals. Everybody gets around. Essentially, I'm pretty sure in Islamic culture they sit on the floor, if I'm not mistaken, and they eat. And this is actually true because I've been among many Muslims. I've been hosted by them, and that is something that they always do. They eat on the floor. Obviously, they have like the plate and everything.
I think it changes a lot from culture to culture. Like I've had Moroccan friends and they weren't eating on the floor. Maybe they were just modernized. So I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Probably because I know a Moroccan friend that definitely he was on the floor like everybody else. No, what's my point? My point is that it's just beautiful to see these people going through the same kind of I don't want to call it adversity because that's a bad phrase to say it. Challenge, I would say, is probably the better way to phrase it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right? You have to wake up at similar timings. You pray with your brothers and sisters at the same time, 5 times I think throughout the day for Ramadan. And there is a beautiful thing about the community that creates.
And can I just say,
you know,
it's something that usually people do respect. I was at soft play.
Yes.
I was at soft play with my little brother, just looking after him. And there was this man next to me and was like, sorry, can you look after my daughter as well for a moment? I have to pray. And I was like, of course, brother, don't you worry, pray.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Yes, sir.
All for it.
Pray
sorry, which one is your daughter
content.
again?
Oh, for fuck's sake. In the name of Allah, for example. But no, it's the community that builds, and obviously the respect that goes without saying because it's so difficult. How about this? I've been challenged to do essentially the same thing as what you do in Ramadan with the fasting for the last 2 weeks of it. And brother, the first 2 days are criminal. The first 2-3 days, they are killer because you are so hungry. Your body's not used to being dehydrated for such an extended period of time.
That's the hard bit for me. It's the water.
It's not the food.
It's the
water that you.
Yes.
But the thing is like once you get into the rhythm, there's actually something quite nice. And in the sense that because you don't have this thought of food in the back of your head, you can focus on your work, and the work that you can put down is actually impressive.
You know, there are actually studies. It's not just that you're not thinking about food anymore. There have been studies that because you allow your body time to not have to digest, which is an energy intensive task for the body, it can allocate more resources to other things. And yes, there are many reports that when you fast, you do have more mental clarity. And that was very interesting. There are actually some studies done about it apparently. And there was chirurg, plastician. How do I say that in English, man?
Plastic surgeon. Bro, why do I have to translate these words for you?
I don't know. I'm tired, okay? You're tired too, but you still function somehow.
Fasting, bro.
Exactly.
No. Okay, I just want to very much clarify the way I, quote unquote, fast is only food. And not water. Water I can drink to my heart's content. But just food, my last meal is at like 2 or 1. And then after that, next day.
Sorry, just to go back to the first point, because we started talking a little bit about post, but we didn't really explain what it is for the people who don't know it. So,
I'm pretty sure I clarified it.
Yeah, post is pretty much becoming vegan, with a few exceptions. If you have to go really hard into it, what post really is, you can eat honey. For some reason, you can eat honey, even though it's not vegan because it comes from insects, but you can eat honey.
That makes no sense.
However, you cannot eat oil, and that is so difficult because everything has oil.
What?
Yes.
Nah, like this is the thing that boggles the mind. It's like you can eat honey, comes from an animal. You cannot eat oil.
Yeah, and in Romania it's called unt de lemn. It's called wood butter, and you cannot touch it. You're not supposed to eat anything with oil. Which is, I'm not sure why, but that makes it so difficult. Especially, I had to learn how to bake my own bread because every single bread in the UK has oil in it. Until I finally found the Tesco Finest white bread, and that one doesn't have oil. I was like, oh, thank you, God. Thank you.
This is why I need to steer the conversation in like a certain direction, because I just know that as soon as I let you go on a tangent, we go
on 3 more tangents.
Yeah, we go on 3 more tangents, and by that time it's like, what is this video even about anyways?
It's that just about post and Ramadan, because they are so similar. And actually, coming back to the first point that you mentioned, man, all religions are extremely similar because both of them are Abrahamic religions. Is that the right word?
Abrahamic, yeah.
Abrahamic, thank you. Like, we all come from the Jews, pretty much. I
guess, yeah.
We all come from the Jews, only that we recognize Jesus Christ as being the Son of God, incarnated into Christ, pretty much. Into Jesus Christ. And the Muslims do acknowledge Jesus Christ's existence, only not as the Son of God, just as a prophet, and that there have been more prophets after him. Whereas we believe that Jesus Christ is the Messiah, it stops here, and when he comes back, that will be the end of days. But we actually have so much more in common. Like, the whole of the Bible, is in the Quran, plus some other books as well. Some things are different, they have been changed. It's whatever.
One of the things that I really want to do is I want to read the Bible back to front and the Quran back to front.
Man, it is definitely an interesting read. I can just say that.
I can definitely imagine that. But okay, coming back to another point, because I feel there's gonna be a schematic on the screen right now as to how these conversations usually go, and honestly, it's really as descriptive as this. I feel like, yo, Dennis, when I show you the schematic, you should make this the
thumbnail.
No, not the thumbnail. Just the background of our channel, because it describes it excellently.
Fair, okay. Now I'm curious to see what it's gonna be.
You'll see. Yeah, you'll see. Anyways, the point about community, I find it beautiful that people come together and essentially go through this. Okay?
When is the last time you've gone to the church, by the way?
When was the last time I've gone to the church?
Yeah.
Definitely around,
8
I want to say for sure a year ago, if not less.
Okay.
A year ago. I'm not that bad, come on. I'm not that bad.
It's just because I came to church recently, and for those who don't know, in Christian Orthodox Church, especially on Sundays, people bring over food, and the priest can sfințească. Holy the food?
No.
Can make the food holy?
Yeah, can make it holy, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, you know what I mean.
Bless it!
Yeah, thank you, bless it. Thank you, man. Jesus.
Okay, my brain capacity is also decreasing. Come on, quickly.
Yeah, we're way too tired for this now. Anyway, and can I just say, the last time, usually when we come, there are 2 tables with some food, mostly on the bigger table and some on the smaller table. They had to bring 2 more tables, another big one and another small one, because people brought so much food over. Because post had just begun, and people were getting ready, and I found that lovely. And the church was full. Like, you barely had place to walk. That was amazing. I am glad to see that the Christian spirit still exists. Actually,
nowadays.
Arguably, it's gone harder and harder and harder in the last few days. Like, every time I went to church, there were more people than the day before. What's happening? I don't know.
I mean, honestly, that warms the heart.
Yes,
honestly,
it does.
That really does warm the heart. Because, like, say for example, you probably live in a district which is maybe like more Christian oriented. I'm unfortunately, like, not necessarily unfortunately, I still think it's quite nice still. I live in a more Muslim dominated area.
I don't really actually, like, there are a few churches in where I live. I was about to dox myself. There are a few churches where I live, but I actually have to go to the closest city, which is much more known. It's actually where Andrew Tate lived. Because we have the Christian in Luton.
Way to dox yourself still.
Whatever.
Anyways.
It's close to where I live, it's not where I live.
Yeah.
And I have to go there to go to the church there, because we don't actually have a Christian Orthodox church where I live. So it is what it is.
But it's a beautiful thing that you tell me that this Christian spirit is maybe getting a resurgence. I'm not sure if that's the right phrase.
It kind of is, honestly. It kind of is, because it really
getting a bit more morale.
Yeah. Honestly, Christianity has kind of been thrown under the bus for a few good years, let's say that. And the current Pope on Rome really isn't helping out the case. But yeah.
Yeah, that could be its whole topic in itself.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, let's go back. Sorry. So you said that you live in a Muslim-centric community.
For the most part, yeah, because that's the worshippers that I see the most.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see as many Christian worshippers, but I definitely know a lot of Muslim worshippers.
Mm-hmm. Can I just say one other thing that doesn't really play out for Christianity is the fact that we're so distraught, we're so separated, we're so branched out. Like, I can understand Catholics and Orthodoxies. Like, there's been the great chasm in history and whatever. Okay, fair. However, then Catholicism broke off into Protestants and all the other sub-branches, whereas the Orthodox pretty much stayed the same. Like, we all kind of stayed more or less united. Like, we still are just Orthodox, but there's so many different branches of Catholics that are just confusing to deal with.
You can blame Henry VIII for that one.
Oh, and not only. There's been... Sorry.
If you want to talk history, you can definitely blame Henry VIII for that one. And whereas
for
in,
most of it,
in
but
Islam,
not
there's only, if I'm not
There's
mistaken,
only
in
two.
Islam, there's only two branches,
Yeah.
Shias and Sunnis. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Sorry, I was about to say
so-
Sharia, but that's different, sorry.
Careful there.
Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna stop
Careful
here.
Yeah. But I think with religion, one of the things that also doesn't make sense is like this almost invisible division that exists between even like the main ones, like for example Islam and Christianity.
Yeah.
Because if you really look at the fundamentals of how we operate, we are pretty much the same.
Yes,
Dare I
we
say.
are. It's just that religion has been so weaponized that we forget who our brothers are. And it's sad. It's sad.
That is so true. Because when I see
But yeah.
them, I just think back at like when I see the Muslims being together, for example, I just see how do you call it? My old families, like when families used to gather around for Christmas, for the holidays, for Easter, making food,
Yeah.
and especially most Muslims that I've been friends with, they've been nothing but welcoming me. I
Yeah.
think the most amount of like hosting in terms of like them making me food, for example, the most of the time it has been by Muslims.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that's
I
also
don't know
the
if I've ever
circle
been
that you
hosted.
go around in. Like when...
Yeah, that is true. Maybe I'm just surrounded by incredible people. Who knows?
Yeah, for example, the ones that we were mostly hosted by were Christians because we just had Christian friends. But yeah, that's the thing. There's beautiful and horrible people on both sides of the fences. We just don't have to generalize. Like,
I agree with that.
there are some small generalization that you can make, for example, like by region, like, oh yeah, these type of people in that area are not really welcoming. But overall, like, you can always find the gem where you least expect it, and vice versa, you can always get stabbed in the back where you least expect it.
And I think that's probably a good note to end that conversation on.
Yeah.
Everybody, like, comment, subscribe.
One last thing, music is so
Yeah.
difficult during post. Bye.